Welcome to Peace Within the Journey of Forgiveness. I have Miss Ebony.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ebony, for accepting the invitation to come and speak about your journey, your peace in your journey, your forgiveness in your journey. But before we start, give us a little bit about who Ebony is.
Oh man, Ebony is complex. Okay. But my name is Ebony Staten actually now.
Okay.
I was formerly Ebony McCoy. I've been married going on 3 years. In November 2020, we got married in the middle of a pandemic.
Wow.
Yep. But I work as a nurse practitioner with physical medicine, rehab medicine. So people who have a lot of, neck pain, shoulder, back, any kind of joint issue, I work with those types of clients. And I enjoy working with them because we get results.
Okay.
And so it's results driven. It's not just here's this medication, here's that medication. So
that's a good
I really like that type of work that I do. But outside of work, I like to spend a lot of time with my husband when I'm able to.
Okay.
I also like to spend time with friends. I like to do some traveling. But most of all, I love my church.
Amen.
I love my church. And I go to Union Church here in Maryland. And since I've been there, I've met some wonderful people, one of which is Portia. Oh. And
through a member
that
attended
yes. Union. That's how I've gotten to know a lot of people in Maryland. I'm from Maryland, but I moved away when I was 17.
Okay.
And I went to college.
Okay.
So I went to college in Virginia. I went to Liberty University. Okay. And so I stayed down there for a while. And then from there, I did a year of travel nursing. So I went to Texas, Arizona, Nevada.
That's beautiful.
Back here to Baltimore. And, I lived in North Carolina for a while. So coming back, my friends that I knew from high school, I wasn't connected with them. And so getting connected with the church, I was able to meet a lot of people. So I think that's a little bit about me.
Okay. That's good though. Mm-hmm. Tell us about traveling as a nurse. Mm-hmm. What you experienced?
So I started travel nursing back in 2008. And that's when one of the major recessions hit. Oh. And so I went because I'm like, I can make this money. You know what I mean?
And
travel. But the money wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But outside of the money, the opportunity to just go and see different places, I don't think that I would have had or thought about it. Okay. If I didn't go and do travel nursing. Okay. So I went to Texas, I went to Dallas, Fort Worth, and I loved it in Texas. The people were nice, the food was good. It was just a wonderful experience. Okay. And then from there, I went to, so when you do travel nursing, you're usually doing a 13-week assignment. And at the time that I was doing travel nursing, that's when hospitals were transitioning from paper charting to computerized charting. So they wanted to beef up their staff. We take care of less patients while we're learning the system. Okay. So that's what they brought the travel nurses in for. And so that was the big wave at that time. So I went out to Arizona. Arizona was a big culture shock for me while I was doing travel nursing out there. So I got familiar with the snowbirds. So the people who travel for the winter to Arizona, like they're coming from Michigan, Chicago, those places that have the really, harsh winters. And so they spend the summer there in Arizona, golfing and doing all those fun things. And then at the time, Arizona had a heavily Hispanic populated. And so it was very different coming from the East Coast.
And dealing with their culture as well?
I felt like I didn't really get immersed in their culture because they're very family with their people. Yeah. So one thing I did learn was like how important family was. Okay. You know what I mean? That's what I learned from them. But they weren't very... I did not experience them being very inviting.
Okay.
And so I'm from Baltimore, so we are the majority. You know what I mean? So to go someplace else and you're the minority is different. It's different. And then Nevada, I was in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas is kind of similar to Arizona.
Okay.
But when I was in Las Vegas, I felt a heaviness there, like spiritually. It was hard to explain, you know. But I just felt very burdened for the city.
Okay. Oh wow.
And where I was spiritually then is not where I am now. So I didn't really know how to intervene. I just could feel the heaviness. Whereas now it's like, you know, you feel some heaviness, you start praying. You know what I'm saying? And you start working it out with the Lord. But it just felt very heavy there. So it wasn't one of my favorite places to be.
That's interesting where you notice something in that, I guess, Nevada, right? They wasn't spiritually connected.
I didn't feel like that at all, and I saw a lot of different things being a nurse out there, and it was just a lot. It was a lot.
Like what?
You know, just addictions, dealing with clients who were coming in with addictions, and you know, I wasn't far from the strip, so you know, gambling is prevalent just like everywhere you go. You can go to the gas station and
it's a gambling little
it's a whole setup. So you can go anywhere and do that. So I saw where that was very prevalent and just kind of hopeless. You know what I'm saying? The people were just kind of hopeless out there. No direction.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's
no peace.
Yeah, no.
You know.
Like you said, no direction. They was more focused on their game.
Yeah.
How I'm going to survive in this world instead of connect to God and say, guide me. So I don't, you know, have a gambling addiction. They don't see that they losing money.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And they losing their self.
Yeah. And the self is probably already lost. And then this is a result of that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So when you left, you felt better.
Oh yeah.
And that's a place you say I would never go work there again.
No, I wouldn't. None of the places actually that I worked, I would go back to because I think I'm just done with that part of my life.
Yeah.
I was speaking to somebody. Actually, I think I was talking to a friend of mine today, and I was like, you know, I just want to go forward.
That's good.
You know, and I think we were talking about me and my husband, and it's like I don't want to go back to where we were happy. I want to create a new happiness. Like I want new things to be created.
That's beautiful.
Where I was in the past is in the past, and it was good for that time.
Yeah,
but it's not good for this time.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to settle for it.
Yeah. That's good. Don't settle for nothing. Move forward. How do you see yourself now creating that new journey of happiness that you want?
That's a really good question, Portia, because I'm like right in the thick of it.
Okay.
I just started. First of all, you have to recognize that you're not happy. You have to recognize you just
threw me on my chest.
You just have to recognize just like where you are.
That's
like
true.
You know, I'm not happy, you know, in my relationship.
Okay.
But is it that I'm really not happy in this relationship, or am I not happy with myself? And so that's one of the steps that I am taking to create this joy. You understand what I'm saying?
A healthier lifestyle for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. I started a coaching program. Okay. And it's called I'm not conducting it. I'm a part of it.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I'm getting coached.
Okay.
Yes. And it's making relationships work.
Oh. Okay.
And so it's tailored. I joined the program because of my marriage. But I'm in the program and I'm just in the first week.
Okay.
But in the first 2 weeks, we only talking about Ebony.
Yeah.
We're not talking about anybody else.
Okay.
We're not talking about him. and how he does things and how he responds and his
Okay, hold on,
perception.
time. Are y'all in it together or you just in the program?
I'm just in the program.
Okay.
So
cool.
the reason that I signed up for this program specifically is because it's if your husband doesn't want to be involved. So this program is created for women who they're looking to save their marriage, strengthen their marriage, help their marriage, and the significant other or the partner is not at a place where they want to do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But they're more than welcome to
come.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're more than welcome to join
At their time. Okay, that's
but
nice.
it's a program that has been created where it's just,
That's
if you want to do it, by yourself.
And it's in Baltimore?
No, it's online.
Okay.
It's an online program, and we have, mindset coaches. We have people from the Gottman school that help.
Okay.
We have all these clinicians,
That's
psychologists.
good.
Like, we have a whole team.
That's what's up. You need a team.
We need a team. Because they got to say, tag. You
okay.
gotta take this one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Even without, we have Q&A calls every Monday and Thursday. You have to submit a question. And once you submit a question, they put you in a certain breakout room. So it's not like it's very structured.
Okay.
And for me, I need structure.
And I also like how you taking the time. This is time consuming. Because I'm here, I'm listening. I'm like, this is time consuming, but you're taking time to find your healing so you can move forward in your future of happiness for yourself and for your marriage. Because sometimes the other partner needs to show, not speak. Like show, and then they see the difference in you, and like, hold on, I need to catch up.
And that's to your point, But it was like I didn't want to have to say, well, like, oh, I gotta be the person to do this. I gotta be the person to do that. But it's like I'm a leader. I'm not trying to lead the marriage per se. You understand? Like take his place, but I am stepping into my wise woman, and I am recognizing the leadership power that I have, and I'm just going to be a leader, and he will benefit from it, and he's going to get on board with it.
That's good. That's good, because a lot of people always do instead of, like you say, let me be the wise woman in this situation so we can move forward. You say you're not going back. No. You're going forward, and someone has to take that baton.
Exactly.
And then you can pass it on or hold it together.
Yes.
That's beautiful. I'm glad, and I pray that someone see this and hear you and say, you know what, let me stop going like this. And let me say, you know what, it's better to show the actions, and then they can see. Because, sometimes a person with addiction is not going to see healing unless they see someone else heal in their wholeness from their addiction. Like, you know what, hold up, I want my teeth back, I want my hair back. You know what I'm saying? Just giving a vision so people can see, I want to smile again. I want to walk with the freedom of not being stronghold from them drugs. That's beautiful. And what's the website or the information that you...
So the lady's name that has created this program is Megan Toohey, Megan, and then Toohey, I believe, is Toughey. And so I think Instagram just heard my cry.
Ooh, okay.
And she popped up on my Instagram.
Or did you talk about it to someone? Because I always tease people. I'm like, look, every time I say something to you now, everything popping up on my Google.
Yes. I was probably talking to someone, talking to my best friend Shannon, and Instagram heard, and that's how she popped up. So this isn't a person that I'm familiar with. And I think for me to learn, I do have to be with someone that I'm not familiar with.
Okay. That's good.
I'm not familiar with her. I don't know her.
Okay.
She's trained.
Yeah.
And nothing against anybody else.
Yeah.
But I need structure. I need someone who's trained. This is how I learn.
Okay.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so I did her master class.
Okay.
And so I listened to her master class, and everything that she was talking about, I was like,
No, she did.
This is me. This is me.
Wow.
And so from there, they put you on a breakthrough call. And then they're going to see, hey, you have to get accepted into the program.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like, oh, I want to sign up and here we go.
Yeah.
No. They want to see, are you really ready to tap into your wise woman?
Oh, okay.
Are you going to waste their time? Are you going to waste your time?
Oh.
You know, because we have curriculum. This is 8 weeks long.
Okay.
We have curriculum. We have Q&A calls. We have all these things that we have to pour into ourselves. And they're like, are you a good fit?
Are you going to do the work?
Are you going to do the work?
What's the Ayana Bazan? Are you going to do the work? and
that's
it's work. And people understand life is work.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate to jump off subject.
No, it's okay.
But that's where I feel like sometimes suicide comes in.
Mm-hmm.
They tired. But they don't understand, like, when you work, you get results.
That's it.
You know,
yeah.
There are going to be some bumps in the road, your speed bumps. But know that you get over that bump, it's a smooth journey after that, you know. And people have to understand, you know, you do go to a church, but you also found a therapeutic place to help you become that, get over that bump. And people have to understand, life is fun, easy, and hard, and struggles.
Yeah.
Nobody said life was like a box of chocolate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, I mean, when you get a box of chocolate, sometimes you don't like it because you bite in a nut. I'm like, I don't like nuts in my chocolate.
Exactly.
So I don't want that part of that chocolate.
Yeah.
So sometimes you don't want that part of the life, but you taste it and you got to get through it.
And that was one of the, I'm glad you brought that point up, because that was one of the things that Pastor Stephen mentioned yesterday at Catalyst.
Okay.
Like, it's you not having a battle is actually a curse.
Wow.
Because the battle is what causes you to take your relationship deeper with God.
With God, yeah.
You know, you're not just familiar with him. You know him in an intimate way. And nobody likes the battle. Nobody likes the battle.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to fight
or argue.
Nobody wants all of that. But, you know, we gotta have something that makes us uncomfortable in order for us to grow.
Yeah.
And so one thing you mentioned, you know, you do go to church, but we need multiple things that help us, because with me doing this route, it gives me clarity with God and how I treat him and my relationship with him and who he wants to be to me.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Even though I'm listening things from a scientific standpoint or, you know, a psychologist or some type of clinician, I can automatically relate it to the word. And so the biggest thing that I'm getting out of it is you got to get the plank out of your eye.
What Michael Jackson say? The man in the mirror?
Yeah. I mean, and all we doing is just focusing on me. And so you don't see your shortcomings to beat yourself up. You see your shortcomings on how you are contributing in this relationship. And do you really want to treat this person this way?
Wow.
You know?
That's good. I like it.
It's really good. I'm really, really happy. And it was an investment.
Yeah.
It was an investment.
But tell them, you got to invest, you know.
You have to invest.
Invest in your spirit. Also, how people invest in their body, you should invest in your spirit. I have no problem with people investing in their body. Right. But also invest in your spirit and your mind so you can keep their body strong. Yeah. Because that body going to connect to the mind and it's going to start willing down and people understand, why am I aching this way? It's because your mind. I was talking to my grandfather's daughter. Okay. And my grandfather had just died. And, you know, excuse me, but some people who go to church ain't trying to go the extra route to another resource to get healing. Yeah. I believe therapeutic is a healing. And we could talk about that too. But so I was listening to what she was saying. She was talking. And I said, oh man, I said, your body is taking in all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly, but I was like, oh man, your body is taking in all that stuff. Guess what she said? Yeah, I just fainted the other day. Yeah. I was so mad. I mean, I'm laughing now, but I was mad because I'm like, I'm telling you, you need to go speak to a therapist because you got so much buildup in you. Your body just went flat to the ground. Now your anxiety going off, and you don't even know how to deal with it.
You don't.
So if you go to somebody and everything is too much for you, they teach you the tools.
Right. And I think, Portia, to that point, we just normalize things.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm getting old, so that's this. Oh, I went through this and that's that. It's like, okay, we might acknowledge that, but what are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
Because it may be deeper than you just getting old.
It is. It's more than deeper than getting old.
And just because you're getting old doesn't mean your body has to ache.
Basically.
It doesn't mean it has to hurt. It doesn't mean
you gotta be bent over.
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't mean it doesn't mean, oh well, it's okay for me to pick up weight. No. Age doesn't mean anything. It said Moses, when he was taken up by the Lord, he was strong. He was in good health.
And he was over 100.
And he was over 100 years old.
And I'm trying to be like that. So
whatever age I am, I want to be strong. I want to be mobile. I want to be able to move. I don't want aches and pains and all of that. And,
thank you.
Now I see, you talking about creating.
Okay.
I see a homeopath, a naturopath provider since the loss of my baby.
Okay.
He put me on some supplements. Okay. I told him, let's back up. Okay. So, I gave birth to a baby 20 weeks early. Okay. And this company that I have forged a relationship with is like, Ebony, we really want you to talk to this doctor. What happened wasn't normal.
Okay.
So what happened was my cervix opened up early. And so in the medical sense, it's, I have an incompetent cervix. And that was not okay with the individuals that I was sharing this information with.
Okay.
So they say, you don't have an incompetent cervix. It's something else that's going on.
Okay.
We want you to talk to this doctor.
Okay.
Who, he's not a fertility specialist.
Okay.
But what he does is he gets the body healthy enough to where if you want to try again, we got a good host. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. And so I work with him, and I'm talking about the aches and pains. And
okay.
I was working with him. He asked about all these symptoms. He said, "Are you hot or are you cold?" I said, "I bring the heat. I'm always hot." He asked about, everything that you can think of. Okay. No blood work, none of that was done. He just did symptoms. And he said, "Send me a picture of your tongue." Woo! Because based on the tongue, he can tell the pattern of what's going on in the body.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, did that. He's treating me and my husband. Okay. Now, at first, I shared this with my husband. He's like, "Well, they told you what was wrong. I'm okay with what they told you."
Go ahead, wise woman. What you say to husband? Go ahead.
I said, "Well, let me tell you one thing. Even before this wise woman thing, if I'm not okay, if people are in my life for a reason." Amen. And one thing, Portia, I'm jumping all over the place, but one thing is that, yes, is that we have to learn how to be discipled. And discipled is just, let me share something with you. Discipling is also discipline. Just sharing something with you is discipline. Is discipling someone.
Yeah, I'm going to get that homeopathic information from you when we done.
Yes. So I mentioned it to him. He said, but if that's what you want to do, okay.
Okay, cool.
Oh, but he said okay at 9. This was the route that I was
Yeah.
going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these people that I work with, they love me. They care about me. So I know they don't want anything but the best for me. And so he's from South Africa, but he lives in Maine.
Okay.
And so we had this talk with him. Husband is on the talk. I said, I'm going to have my appointment. You know, are you going to get on the call with me? He said, yeah, I'll get on the call with you. Even though he was like...
skeptical?
Yeah. He was just, you know, they told him what it was.
Okay.
You know, they told him what it was. He was okay with that, but he didn't go through the birth.
Yeah.
He didn't go through the 20 weeks of, curating this baby. You know what I mean? And so I need some answers.
Is he the type of person just like real, just too chill?
I think yes.
Okay.
Yes. He's very chill, and he said that this is what they said. I'm never okay with just what someone says.
Yeah.
Especially if potentially it could be another option.
Yeah.
So we get on the call. The doctor is wonderful, and we have such a wonderful experience with him. And the call ended up being his call, my husband's call. He excited now.
Like,
yeah. You wasn't.
Hey, that's look. God works way. Look,
that was it. God did work. God did work because I had been talking to my husband about his diet and weight loss and all these things, and he wasn't hearing me.
Okay.
So he speaks with this doctor, and now. So
hold on, time out, because I love like relationship stuff.
Okay.
So as a woman, don't sometimes you be like, really, you couldn't hear me? I'm saying almost the same thing as what this doctor
I
said.
wanted to go there. But it was like, you know how you're praying for your relationship, and it's just like, I just looked at it as God moving it that way. Not, Ebony, let's go ahead on and take a shot. You know what I mean? Just God moved through Dr. Collins.
Okay.
And, now he's on board.
Okay.
Now he's on board.
Good.
And I think because like I said, outside people sometimes can make things stick a little bit more.
That's true.
And so he may fall off. He might, be stringent with the diet, whichever it is. But he knows now. And so now he can be held accountable. And it's not coming from me. It's coming from somebody else. Because, this doctor gets into, so we basically had to, no coffee, no sugar, no alcohol.
I don't think so. I love my Tito's. But I could take for how long? For the rest of your life?
No, until your belly fat is gone.
Oh, okay.
So belly fat is gone. So he put us on a special dietary changes. That's what I'm gonna call it. Dietary changes. And then he also gave us supplements.
Okay.
As soon as I changed some things. I didn't have an issue with the coffee. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol really at all. It's gotta be like a special occasion.
I'm a social, so when I go out, I be like, just give me some Tito's.
Yeah.
But hey, if I gotta stop drinking Tito's, Tito's is not gonna control me.
Yeah, I understand. For your health.
Yeah, for my health, I want to. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the sugar.
Sugar like what? Sugar or like cakes?
Everything.
Sugar.
Because what it is it's a list.
Okay.
So you have a list of the foods that he wants you to eat. He has a list of foods that he wants you to avoid as much as possible, and then he has a list of foods that you have to stop altogether.
Okay.
And so the list of foods that you got to stop altogether. You don't even need to look at the list because you're likely eating them.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? They're pro-inflammatory. He wants to bring inflammation down.
Okay.
So in bringing inflammation down, that's also going to level out estrogen and progesterone. Within 2 days, let me tell you the things I cut out. Because I was already kind of eating on the good list.
Yeah.
You can't look like this.
Amen.
And not be eating some type of way. You understand what I'm saying? But I had to cut out peanut butter.
Okay.
Raisins. I was eating a banana every day. So no overripe bananas. And I had to cut out salad dressing.
Wow, for real?
Salad dressing has a lot of sugar in it. Peanut butter has a lot of sugar in it. raisins have a lot of sugar in it.
Wow.
So those were key things that I took out of my diet on top of eating the foods that he wanted us to eat, and then no processed foods.
Okay.
So I cut down a lot on eating out. You realize how much you eat out when you don't think you eat out that much.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, it's late. I don't feel like cooking. Let me run to Chick-fil-A real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even if you get a salad from Chick-fil-A?
Well, we'll get into logistics later.
We can talk about that on our own time. But how do you feel now, like working with the doctor, working with your therapeutic, and your husband now accepted the doctor that helps with the body change, and now your body is leveled out with estrogen? Did you go to the doctor and check out your cervix and stuff?
No. Okay. Once I had my baby, there was no more checking. Right? Yeah, the stillbirth. There was no more checking. It wasn't a need to check. You know what I mean? Everything is hormonal.
So, let me ask you this, because, you know, before, when you was pregnant, you didn't eat everything on the good list, right?
No, I didn't, but I wasn't bad either because I was working with the midwife.
Okay.
And so the midwife wanted me to track my food every day. She actually saw it on my tracker record. I wasn't eating enough.
Okay.
And so she had given me a list of things that she wanted me to eat. So while I was pregnant, every once in a while I would crave some Taco Bell. So, I would go to Taco Bell. I'm sitting in my car and me and my little baby, happy eating out on Taco Bell, right?
Okay.
But she had me on foods that she wanted me to eat that would help nurture him. So she wanted me eating, for every trimester I was in, I had to eat one egg every day through the first trimester, 2 eggs every day through the second trimester, 3 eggs every day out of the third, because it has a lot of, good properties, collagen, protein, all of that. She had me on collagen supplements. She had me on all different types of supplements to help with this. But what I realized with the homeopath provider is that I wasn't in the best health before I got pregnant.
Okay.
But I didn't know.
That's true. I think we don't know. We just go through life eating what we was raised from, what we was taught.
And it was my hormones. And when I look back with talking with the doctor, my hormones been off since somewhere in my 20s.
For real?
Yes. Didn't even know it.
Wow.
So all the premenstrual syndrome that you get, breast tenderness, cramping, bloating, I don't have none of that.
Oh, wow.
Because my levels are even now. So those were always the indicators, like, okay, I'm about to come on my period.
Yeah.
But what it's showing is that you have too much estrogen in the body. And if you look at most cancers, they're estrogen driven.
Yeah. Wow, that's good.
Yeah. So I got a lot of things going on right now,
But in a good way.
Because
you're moving forward from learning from things that happen to you. Well, they say trials. From your trials, your tribulations, that you didn't let it put you in a place where you didn't want to move forward and grow. You're growing from it.
Yeah.
So the next time, are you now say, okay, are you taking time, or are you going to move forward to work on having another
baby?
You just call them beanie.
Yeah, so we didn't know what we were having.
Okay.
And we didn't want to know until we gave birth.
Okay.
So we surprised. But when I looked at the ultrasound, I said, it's a boy. I knew in my heart that it was a boy. And when I had him, it was a boy. It was a boy.
The Holy Spirit is strong.
Yeah. And he was perfect. He was perfect. You could tell everything that was being put in. He was getting. He just came early.
Okay.
And although he came early, he had a purpose in coming early.
Okay.
If he didn't come early, I wouldn't be on this path that I'm on.
Okay.
And so that's how I look at although it hurts just because I have emotions and you have attachments, there's a lot of good that came out of him, although he's not here. You know what I mean? And I just don't think I would be who I am today. And I don't believe that my relationship with God would be where it is today.
That's good.
If that it had to happen. And it's still hard to say.
Yeah, I see.
But it had to happen to get locked in on God.
Yeah, how, and that's what I want to know, because sometimes situations that you experience, sometimes it takes people away from God. And you said it connected you. Help us get an understanding so people who pushes away from God don't push away from God. They get more connected to God and find more understanding. And that's what you're getting, understanding as well, and more other things.
Yeah.
Please share.
I think that you have to kind of see where your relationship is with him before. If you don't have a pretty good foundation before, anything can knock you off. It's just like when they talk with about the sower and the seeds that fall on a different ground, you know. And so it's where you are in your relationship with God, how long you've been with God, you know what I mean, that type of thing. And so I've grown up, my father was a pastor, so I've grown up just, you know, knowing God, knowing of God. Yeah. But the trials come for you to know God. Build that relationship with him. And see
who God really is.
Yeah. Wow. And so, you know, with this happening, I was kind of in a conundrum. You understand what I'm saying? It was like, so the very person that allowed this to happen was also the person that I had to go to get comfort. I didn't have any way around it. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, if I'm gonna get through this, I gotta be with him. And he allowed this. And I don't understand that part, but the part that I do understand is I need to be with him. So let me just move in this, and then I will get more clarity. So I was supposed to have a ultrasound done. This was the anatomy scan of the baby. So you could find out what you were having, all those different types of things. Okay. They canceled my appointment. Oh, okay. That night, I had a little dressing on, you know, I'm going to my appointment, so it's easy for me to do what I need to do. That was a Friday, and it was Catalyst. So I thought it was a little weird that they canceled the appointment, but, you know, okay, you know, I wasn't too concerned. I didn't have a reason to be concerned, but I thought it was weird. Okay. Go to Catalyst, we have a worship night, everything. And then maybe a week or 2 weeks later, I go into premature labor. So when I'm talking with God, I'm like, me not having that ultrasound was for a reason. Because they maybe could have started to see if the cervix was opening up early. And I know that if I would have prayed about that cervix being taken care of, God would have answered me. But he didn't want the cervix to stay closed, because he could have kept the cervix closed. That's easy work for him. God do. There's people out here that's doing anything and everything during their pregnancy, and their baby comes out fine. You understand? Yeah. Because that baby has a specific purpose. That baby is here no matter what the mother does. If the baby makes it, the baby has a purpose. Yeah. And my baby had a purpose in coming early, but God, so that was the issue I had. Okay. Because I didn't know about it for a reason. Because everybody would have been praying at union. Everybody would have been praying. We would have saw going to Catalyst, a night of miracles. It would have been a miracle. But I did not have that opportunity. You praying for your pregnancy and your baby and everything, but you may not be specific. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, God, keep my cervix closed. You understand what I'm saying?
Did you ask God what was the purpose? Or ask, can he tell you? Because sometimes, things we should know and not know.
I did ask.
Okay.
I feel like things have been revealed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I think the biggest revelation is for me to have an encounter with him. I started reading this book by Tony Evans called Kingdom Encounters, When Life Hurts.
Okay.
And when I tell you, the whole book ministered to me because it talked about Jacob. It talked about Abraham. And we know their stories throughout the Bible and the things that they've gone through. And it was for them to have an encounter with God. For God to show his faithfulness to them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so this was a setup for me to have an encounter with God. So that's what I got out of this. And for my life to be put on display for him.
To speak.
Yeah.
To help. Because some people don't know. They allow things to shift. And my prayer for myself, I always say, God, I know whatever goes on, don't allow me to remove myself from you. Yeah. Because, like you said, your emotions. So I don't want my emotions to become so big that I don't allow you to be big in my life.
Exactly.
And that's good. I'm so honored that you sharing that, to let people know whatever you go through, we know God can heal.
Of course.
We know God can do the almighty miracles. But you were saying it had to be a purpose, and now you're connecting to God to find that purpose, to show that I'm not going to remove you out my life, even though you gave me something special. I delivered it, but now I can't make the baby that I'm supposed to deliver be raised in this world to be whatever you wanted to be. It doesn't stop you from, it's just so much. Yeah,
it's a lot. But those were the big things. Like I'm supposed to have an encounter with him. He doesn't do anything to harm you. There's a reason why he did it. And Ebony, your life needs to be on display for me. I don't talk about God. I did not talk about God as much as I do now.
Wow.
Because of my experience with him. Anytime anybody got an issue, I can't help you, but I know somebody who can.
I know that's right. Hey.
You know what I mean? I might be able to help you a little bit. You want something to eat or something like, you know what I'm saying? But
with the full what you're looking for fully, you have to go to the Father.
I have to direct you to the Father. Yeah. That's what I have to do. That's what I have to
do. And that's how I think that's our purpose.
Yeah.
Is to connect people with God. Exactly. And you're lost in this world. You're walking with all this hurt and pain. Yeah. Jesus is the Prince of Peace. Yeah. And that's who I can guide you to give you the peace. And be obedient to God. Be just, what is it? Like you said, is they coming at you. Right. Allow God to show who you are so you can become the person God created you to be. Yeah. Because we go through life, and the shifts of life sometimes pushes away from our created person, what we're supposed to be.
Exactly,
yeah. So, I'm tongue-tied and speechless.
Yeah.
Because that is so remarkable, because you explain some different steps that could have been made in your life with, in that moment of knowing about your cervix, the cancer being canceled, your appointment being canceled. Yeah. So I am intrigued. I'm like, oh, I hope she prayed, because I want to know, even though I shouldn't want to know. I'm just a little always want to know. What was the whole 360 of?
Yeah. I don't think I have all of that right now. And I'm just okay with him revealing it when he reveals it. You know what I mean? But I definitely felt like it was off that I did not have that scan. Because I know I was listening to a sermon at Pastor Brian's church in Charlotte, and the guy had mentioned that him and his Pastor Brian Bullock. Okay. At the Charlotte campus. He's the pastor for Union.
Oh, Charlotte. He came from the one in Baltimore, the Union in Baltimore. Yeah. Got a church in Charlotte.
He has one in Charlotte. Okay. Yeah, he has a Union in Charlotte. Yeah. But he had a guest minister there, and long story short, him and his wife was trying, and they went through IVF, and um, they had a positive pregnancy test, but they go to have the ultrasound done, and they don't hear the heartbeat. And so he's like, I spent all this money, and I don't have work. And he said, God, you could have kept a heart going. Like, we know what God can do. And if he doesn't do it, then it's something else that he wants to be done.
Yeah.
Jesus raising people from the dead.
Oh, God Almighty, yeah.
Keep a heartbeat going. He can do that. So if he doesn't do it, okay, what are you trying to? What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
What do you want to do through me? And one of the biggest things that came up as well is, God, I'm more than a woman who was pregnant and at 20 weeks gave birth. I can't be stuck in just this part of my life.
Okay.
What is it that you want me to do? And that's when I got, you got to put your life on display. And one day I'm going to write a book.
Amen. I'm here though.
Yeah. I need some help.
I got you.
But that's what I want my book title to be, on display.
Because you speak, you making me. I'm never tongue tied. But no, because that being on display, you have to be transparent, and that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? True. You have to be transparent to be on display. Just because like I'm on this bump right now, my car ain't go over and I'm on the bump, I'm still going to serve God no matter what. Right. Nothing will push me away from God. So I'm going to be transparent. Yes, I know what God is capable of doing, but at the end of the day, this is what I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm enduring. And I'm showing you how God is going to move in my life and give me the full 360. Nothing. Yes, okay, I was pregnant. Naturally you get pregnant, you're supposed to have the baby. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm supposed to raise my beanie. Right. But at the end of the day, I'm serving God. Right. I'm under submission of God. Right. So I'm being obedient to God. Yeah. So your book is about being transparent. I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you about my emotions. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you that sometimes God don't give us the full understanding of why I'm experiencing this. But because I love this God that I serve, I'm going to make sure I stay under that umbrella of the Trinity. You know, and it's a lot because I've seen people always, F God. He coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Right. But never say, let me sit down and speak to my Father to get full understanding. Yeah. You coulda, you shoulda. No. God is free will to speak to him and ask questions, get understanding, because to be honest, that's the circle of life. Life, birth, and death. Even though his life wasn't long. Yeah. But it's a circle of life and how that circle of life changed you to become better. Yeah. We don't understand. I'm always want to understand it, but if I don't get it, nothing will push me away from God. Right. Amen. You know what I'm saying? It helps you mature. It does. It helps you to. It forces you to mature and to walk in the way that God structured. Because, like you said, Abraham, my favorite character is Joseph. Yeah. If Joseph didn't go through what he went through, because Joseph got the dream. Yeah. I'm gonna just speak for myself. God gave me a dream. And I'm like, where's my dream going to come to pass? Right. But I said, okay, you gave me a dream. It's on your time because you're the finisher. You're the beginner and the finisher. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to believe that you have my path. I just have to be obedient and do what you ask me to do while I walk. Right. So your book will be awesome. And you brought up a very good point about if you're on display, transparency. And I know that I have written prayers about, I want people to get married because of me and my husband. Well, you got to go through something. You got to figure this out in order for you to be on display to encourage others to get married.
You gonna go through some things, and you gotta figure something out. So Ebony, you gotta go to coaching, so you can encourage some people to get married, not necessarily through what I say, but how they see me and him interact.
Yeah.
You know, I say,
and they don't want to. This lifestyle they want to live, just having Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday people in their lives instead of just having one person for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I do not want nobody for Monday, Tuesday.
But you know, that's how they living. They don't respect the union that you and your husband have.
And the union is what makes you more powerful.
They don't know.
Not just you as an individual and him as an individual, but y'all together. I know my husband has seen how his life has changed since I've come into his life. And I have seen how my life is changing because he's coming to. Because we're a mirror.
Amen.
So things that I see in him, like, ooh, I'm sitting here pointing out. I do the same thing. It just look different. And it's okay. Right?
Wow.
So, yeah, people don't want to be accountable. And being married and being accountable is not just, oh, I'm not dealing with this guy over here or that. It's not just that type of accountability. You got to be accountable to yourself.
That's good.
And people don't want to be accountable to themselves.
They're so selfish.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no. So you're accountable to you first. You're accountable to your husband. You're accountable to the people that y'all are going to be in front of displaying your marriage. And it's not an easy burden to carry or excuse me, I shouldn't say burden. It's not an easy load to carry. Okay. But this is what you got to do if you want to make a change in people's lives.
Work. It's just work. It's just work. Relationship. A relationship ain't easy. It's work. How can I say it? God relationship with us is work. Yeah. Because he's like, okay, this little girl, I asked her not to do it. She's still doing it now. Now how am I sure? My relationship with God is work. Because I love God, so now I'm saying, okay, let me work on myself so I don't be that bad or old person I used to be. I want to be the good person. Right. When you married, you like, I can't walk in this marriage like I'm still single.
Exactly.
So how can I start teaching myself and learning how to be what a wife?
And I was talking to my friend today on the phone, and I said, she was expressing to me about someone that she knows who really wants to be in a relationship. And I said, what I've learned is, we know once we get in a relationship, we can figure out how to cook. We can figure out our way around a kitchen.
Got YouTube.
Right. We can figure out, all that. Books. Right. You know what I'm saying? We can figure out how to clean. We can figure out how to do those things. Really what we need to do in preparation in getting married is we need to work on ourselves. We need to submit ourselves to women who are experienced or get in a coaching group so that you can learn, well, why do I get angry about this? Why am I projecting this on him? Why do I feel like, if somebody does something, I feel like they abandoned me? Why do I have all of these feelings? And kind of work through those things so that baggage isn't just your body count. Baggage is a whole lot of things.
Your experience in your past, your childhood.
Everything. And so I think that that's more of what women need to do in preparation to getting married, because marriage isn't easy. So if you know you and you recognize that this you today is not going to be the same you 2 years from now, and you know how to flow with the changes, your husband is gonna bow down and kiss your feet every day because you're not that contentious woman.
Yeah. You know how to be emotional. How to help them emotionally. Understand that they want help sexually, but that's not the big picture in the marriage. How can I be there for you when society is beating you down?
Yes, but you got to be there for yourself, and you have to learn that in that time. Pastor Stephen said, don't be scared to be in the wilderness. Don't be scared to be by yourself and have to work through some things. You always got community, and support, but you gotta do some work.
Yeah, that's true.
You gotta do some work. So when you present yourself, it's you can learn how to have sex. Y'all can figure that out. That kind of stuff you can figure out.
And anything like a tool you can learn. Yeah, it's easy. Yeah. You know, like you gotta learn how to ride a bike. It takes a long time, so sex, you can learn that.
You can learn that.
And you gotta learn, just because when you have one partner, you gotta learn each other anyway. You gotta communicate, you gotta talk, like what you like, what you don't like, what's your fetish. Hold up now.
Yeah.
Let me throw that in there.
No, you did.
But yeah, it's just about, marriage is just being open-minded. Mm-hmm. And then also, if you put God in the middle of it,
that's it.
It's the marriage is not going to fail, but you still going to have to do the work.
And I see now where, I don't want to get divorced. Amen. But I don't want to get divorced now because I feel like there is hope. Because I'm working on, I know that I'm a key component if we get divorced. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, not to say that everything is just, hunky-dory, but it's kind of like, before even throwing that out on the table, it's like, what am I doing to prevent that? And in me doing it, he will likely not want that either. My husband doesn't want to get divorced. Like he doesn't want any of that. Yeah. You understand? But I have contemplated.
For real?
Yes. Aww. But in being in my coaching course, it has changed.
Good. And I'm glad you're doing the work.
Yeah.
And noticing that everybody
need to work.
Everybody need to work. Like I need to work on myself. I try to work on myself every day. If it's something because I don't go to a coaching class or therapeutic, but I do know certain things because I went to school.
Okay.
But once I'm finished this chapter, I'm going to coaching class. I'm going to therapy or whatever. Yeah. It's just because I did find one, but I ain't like her. So I thought, so I was like, I really don't have time to find. Right. And it's no excuse, just I really don't have the time, like working or working.
Yeah.
But I do find ways to keep me. And I'll just do it now, just writing. Not even just writing a book.
You just
writing.
That's one of the things. That's one of the things in taking care of yourself and just doing some self-care. Just writing it out or just speaking it out, recording yourself while you're speaking, all of those types of things. So I definitely feel like you're on the right path. I feel like I had all the tools because I would do the journaling, I would get outside, I would do these things. Okay. But I didn't, it was like I was just doing all the things and it would bring me peace in the moment. But it wasn't really helping me with peace truly within. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like calming me down. Yeah. Like, let's calm the baby down. But now,
I get it.
You understand what I'm saying? We're going a little bit
Let
more.
me just pacify her.
Let me just pacify in her mouth.
But you like, I'm still crying, but I'm closed in. I get it.
So now the coaching is helping you dig a little bit deeper. And then with digging a little bit deeper, you know what to bring to God. Yeah. You know what to release. Yeah. You know how to cast your burdens on them. You understand what I'm saying? So it can't just be therapy. Yeah. It's got to be God. God.
I say those to me the most powerful things, God and therapy, because people act like God can't be in therapy. God is. Can you stop putting God in the box? God is everything. I feel like God created that. And if you really read the Bible and look at some of the tools that they give you, it's in the Bible.
Yeah.
And like worship and all that.
Yes. And I feel like with therapy, it's just, you're still being disciplined with someone who is an expert. Yeah. Just like it says, if you're sick, go to the elders of the church and have them pray for you. There you go. So they may not be in the church per se. You're not going to the church. But
they're wise. They look at elders as wise. Yeah. This is a person that's wise and know what you need to become who Ebony's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Girl, yes. You hit the money. So give us something you would tell the viewers
Mhm.
if they was experiencing what you're experiencing with, your marriage, the loss of your being,
Mhm.
and also finding who you really are and taking away those triggers.
Yeah.
What would you share with them so they can grow and become better?
I think the biggest thing that I would like to share is, get help. Allow yourself to become a sponge and just hear what people are saying. So when I lost Beanie, and I don't like to say I lost him. I think that's just like natural. I think he went to go be with his creator. He really did. And so I was talking to a friend of mine. She lost her father and her brother within a year and a couple of months time span. But she told me she was going to grief share.
Okay.
And so she was like, you may benefit from that. So I looked it up and I went and I met some really good people and it really did help me. It was a tool. So be open. I think that that's part of our issue. We don't want to share because we don't want to look away, but we want to look away regardless.
Or they don't want to be transparent.
Yeah.
Saying I have a problem.
Yeah.
I need help.
I need some help. And so I think being open to that, just being open to help because you don't know what other people are going through and what they've done, the help that they've received. So I think that's one of the biggest things. Don't stop doing things. Don't put yourself in a place where I just want to be by myself. Sometimes I would be like, oh, I don't feel like going, but something inside of me would say, just go ahead on and go. You can have a good time, and I would end up having a good time. And then as far as with your marriage, it could be the husband who wants to go to counseling and the wife doesn't. It's not always the wife want to do the work and the husband don't. True. That's not true. Yeah. So I just think, therapy may be it, coaching may be it. I don't know what it could be for you. But I definitely think do some research, figure out, your learning style and what helps you and pursue that whether you have the support of the other one or not. Because you take you everywhere. So even if things don't work, you take you into another relationship and it's going to still be the same issues because you take you. So take some time out to get to know yourself, get some help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And also know when you've outgrown certain types of help. I love my mom and dad. I love them.
Thank you. They still human.
Yeah. And they just haven't been through what I've been through. Amen. And where you're trying to go sometimes, Pastor Stephen has mentioned that a lot too, your family can take you here, but you trying to go here. So who's filling in the gap? You know what I mean? Knowing that you may need some other support outside of your family. Yeah. With dealing with grief, my mom never experienced what I experienced. And so you can get upset with people because they're not there for you the way you need them to be, but they don't know how.
That's good.
Because they just aren't equipped. Yeah. So find people who are equipped that can support you in what it is that you're going through.
Like a sister circle.
Yeah.
Or group.
Grief share. Yeah. Those people understood loss. And it was all types of loss. Yeah. You know what I mean? But we were there together, being okay with going outside to find, your support. Yeah. You can't put all of that on your family.
No. And they're not equipped. They just family. Well, we have a good family side. You have a stable-minded family. All they can do is just love and listen. That's all they should do is love and listen and be that ear for you when you want to get it off your chest. Yeah. But, going to someone who can speak to you because they experience what you're going through now, that's the best.
That's the best. And that's where you find freedom. And that's where you find hope. Yeah. And that's where you become the person that needs to pass things on. You go through things to pass things on, to teach people. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so you have to be taught in order to teach. Yeah. So I hope that those were some good.
That was good, because the world is so big. And God is using, like you said, disciples, God is using us. We don't know who's going to be put in our way. And you're preparing yourself, so if someone be put in your way, you can teach them to get out of whatever they're going through. Yeah. Because that's why people out here just saying, you know what, I want to give up. Because they don't know how to get out of what they experience. And those emotions ain't no joke. It's when you feeling what you feeling and what you experience, and then like the emotions is over, you just go haywire because you don't know how to handle it or attack it with different things to go. But I've never had nobody have me speechless before.
And I just want to say one thing about Portia is we met, I think July, August.
When she had her thing at the play.
Yeah. Of last year.
Yeah.
So this encounter, this time is a whole year later. You know, I lost Beanie, and I was supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
And I said, I just can't do it right now. I'm just not in a space to do it. And so once I got back in a space, because you will start to move down the road of recovery, of healing, all of those things, and come back to the things that you had committed to, because that also can help you in your healing. Sharing your story. That
good, help me grow in life.
right.
So yeah, that's funny that you said that, because like you don't know what to say, and then you like, okay, we might be building a friendship or a relationship, but I don't know how to be there for Ebony. Right. So it's funny how everything full circle. When you said the text, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then also, I'll be transparent. I was scared. I was praying when you said you was doing. I was praying because I still didn't know how to touch on the subject. Because you don't know how is your 25%, 50, 55%, 65, 100. You don't know. And it's like I don't want to trigger anything where it might break someone down. So I just prayed and I thank you. You almost, but you stay strong and you growing and you shared with the viewers how to grow, and you can see it. I don't know if y'all can see it, but she glowing over here. when I opened the door, I was like, "Dang, Ebony, you are beautiful." Like you glowing, so you can tell the work is. When you're having your insides good, it's gonna show on the outside. Yeah. And women need to know that. Stop. Altering or whatever. Yeah. Allow God to work on you inside, because it's gonna come outside and you're gonna get the right man. Yeah. That's what you want. You want God, you want the man that God has for you, not what you trying to work yourself to get these kind of men out here. You want what God truly has. Yeah. And God truly gave you a good man. And y'all going to men and work. It's work. You know,
It's
God
work.
give you the good man. But also he said, look, y'all gotta work this thing
Y'all
out.
gotta work it out.
You know.
You gotta work it out. You gotta work it out.
And that's good.
it.
And you notice that. And this,
Yeah.
3 years.
In November the 20th, 2023, we will be married for 3 years.
Who picked that date? You? It sounds like, you know how some girls are like, I want it because it sounds like you picked that date.
We both picked it.
Okay.
We were talking about what time we were born.
Okay.
And I was born at 8/23. So that would be August 23rd.
Okay.
And I was like, that's my best friend's birthday. It's 3 days after my birthday. I don't want all of that.
Okay.
I love the fall.
Mm.
Fall is my favorite time of the year. And he was born at 11/20.
Oh.
So you know when you make it about them, then it kind of can expedite something.
Okay.
So he was like, maybe we could work that out. I was like, all right, we'll figure it out. And
good.
That happened.
Good. Because God put people together. He doesn't want, God doesn't want man alone. So he brings a beautiful, strong woman that can take care of that kind of man that you have.
God.
He's
I need the strength.
But you got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
So I am grateful. And I'm going to ask, I would love for you and husband to come to get, the dynamic. I would love to put that on here. Like I'm inviting both of them to come. So we can get the dynamic, get his side, how they intertwine with each other. How you guys find peace in your marriage. How you have to forgive. This little spat, we ain't gonna let this spat break us up. I want to hear what you're saying. I'm allow you. I want to hear what you're saying, so we can come together and then move forward and have this beautiful union.
I think he's gonna have a lot of, if we have this opportunity, I think he's gonna have a lot of good things to share.
Yeah.
There's an 11.5-year age gap between us as well.
Who's oldest?
He's older.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's older. And so, we're from different generations. We're from he's from the South, North Carolina.
Wow.
And although Maryland is South, I'm a little bit further up. So we
northern
have,
than they are.
I'm a millennial.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have it's a lot of dynamics, and I have to keep all of that in mind. Good. And he has to keep all of that in mind, and so we have to increase our patience. And
that's good. That is
as well.
That's good, and that's what you do. People need to understand if you put the fruits of the spirits in your marriage, self-control, patience, love, the rest. I can't remember, but you're 100%. I believe and I know in my heart. Y'all, you gonna take whatever that was in your mind. You said that divorce out of the picture.
It's out of the picture now.
Yeah.
It's out of the picture now. And I would talk to him. I was like, I just don't think I'm the one for you. You want this and that. And he would tell me, he was like, you are the one for me. He tells me, he would tell me that. He would never just be like, okay, come on, let's go. No, he'd be like, you're the one. But I gotta figure out how I'm the one for him. Wow. He can't figure that out. He already knows because he chose me. Yeah. But I need to tap into.
And you accepted the invitation. The love that he gave for you.
And so I have to tap into what that looks like for us.
But I'm glad you're going to therapy, because they do say people who transition in marriage is a adjustment. And then they call it adjustment disorder. Yeah. It could be good or bad. It don't have to be like grieving adjustment disorder or something, a loss or school or anything. It could be good or bad. Right. It's just you're adjusting. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
And it's taking me a while.
Yeah, and it's fine. It's time. We got time. Yeah. So thank you. Yes. I pray every viewer that you take what Miss Ebony said and apply it to your life. And also don't forget to hit the like button and share so we can all grow. And also find a therapy, find a doctor, a holistic doctor, find a group therapy, find good resources that can help you to grow and become the man or the woman God created you. Thank you, you guys.
Thank you.